So first step is taking a roast pork shoulder. This one is about 10 pounds. What I did was take off the skin, all the fat, and basically discard that. And now what we're gonna do is slice it into nice chunks, just like this. So this is about a little less than an inch. And we're gonna take that in 3. And what we're gonna do is slice them into cubes. You don't want them too big or too small. So I'm gonna slice up this whole pernil, and then I'll come back to you, okay? Now that we've diced up all the pork, you wanna dice it up in small cubes. It's okay if it's a little larger, but we did the whole roast pork. We still have the bone. We're gonna save the bone. And now we're gonna take half a packet of cooking ham and dice that as well. So I'm gonna do this real quick, just like this. So you wanna dice up this ham because you're gonna put this in with the salted pork in the pot to kind of saute, and then we're gonna add the rest of the pork. So there we go, everything is nicely diced. And after this, we're gonna take a pack of salted pork, which looks like this. Okay, so you're gonna take a whole pack. Since we have about a 10-pound pork shoulder known as pernil, we're gonna use a whole pack, okay? And we're gonna dice this as well. So I'm gonna just open up the packet and get that out. So this has enough fat, so we're not gonna add oil to the pot. And we're gonna dice this in slices. We're actually going to slice it and then dice it. So there we go. And okay, and we're just going to dice it just like that in small cubes. And we will be right back once I finish dicing it, okay? Alright, thanks. Okay, now that everything is diced up, we're actually going to turn on the stove. This is gonna be, we're gonna put it on a light flame. So that's about it. And we're gonna add the diced cooking ham along with the salted pork. And we're gonna put that in. We're not gonna put any oil or any water. Okay. So we got that in there, and now we're gonna add the pernil, which is the pork shoulder. So add that all in there. This is quite a lot. Remember, it is 10 pounds of roast pork. So this is enough pasteles for your family and your neighbor's family. I'm gonna put that in there, and there we go. And then we're gonna pop the bone right in there as well. So everything is in there. And now on top of it all, we're gonna take a little kosher salt. And I'm just gonna add about a handful of kosher salt here. Not a handful, but a palmful. There you go. And okay, now since we have all of the pork cooking in the pot, like I said, it's going to go on for about 45 minutes. So while we have that cooking, here we have cassava. I have 14 pounds of cassava here, known as Yuca. So we're going to take the cassava and we're going to start to peel it, okay? So you could peel it with a regular peeler. So it's pretty easy. You want to peel this up. No rocket science, just get the whole peel off. And then we'll move on to the next one that we'll cut both ends off. So I'm gonna keep on peeling here, so we'll see you in a little bit. Now that we got the yuca all peeled, it's time to cut off the ends. So we're gonna cut off both ends, but before we do that, I actually hear the meat bubbling, so I know that it's hot. I wanna give it a little stir. It's been about maybe 10-12 minutes. So I'm just gonna give it a little stir. And there we go. That's done there. And now we are gonna start cutting the yuca. Okay, so we're gonna take the knife and just... Cassava is a little harder to cut in the ends, so we got that off. Just throw that there. And so we need to grate these, so we don't want to cut them too large. Just like that. And cut them in half and then just throw them into the bowl. So that's what we're going to do with all of these, so we could actually put them into the machine to grate them. So I'm going to keep on going here, and you're going to come right back to see me, okay? So give me a couple minutes. Okay, now that we cut up all the yuca, which the yuca is finished, it's actually peeled and chopped. So this is about the size of the pieces, because we're going to put it into the machine so they can't be too big. Now it's time to season the meat. So it's probably roughly been about 20 minutes. Now, like I said, it's time to season the meat. So we are going to add 2 heaping tablespoons of ground garlic. So you hear the meat boiling. A teaspoon of ground cumin. 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. 1 teaspoon of freshly ground pepper. So that's 1 teaspoon. A tablespoon and a half of oregano. Put that in there. And a tablespoon of capers. Capers look like this. They're relatives of the olives. So we're going to put that in there as well. And now we're going to put 2 packets of sazon, Goya. So we're going to put 2 packets in. And just put that all in there. So the sazon is going to give it color, but we do have achote, which we're going to put achote. Now, if you don't have achote, you could just use the sazon for color. I would just probably add maybe 1 more, 2 more packs, because it gives it a lot of color. But now I do have achote, which I made, so I'm going to use about 1 tablespoon of achote. And achote basically are annatto seeds in oil and then drained. So you're gonna put, actually we're gonna put 2. We're gonna put 2 tablespoons. There you go. So that's done. And the last that we're gonna do is the sofrito. If you don't know how to make sofrito, you can check on the bottom of the page. You have our recipe for the Freakin Rican sofrito, which you're gonna love. So I'm gonna use these big cooking spoons. I'm gonna use about 2. So that's 1. They're pretty heaping as well. So that's 1 and this is 2. There you go. Cover this up. Not not everyone's sofrito is like my sofrito. This sofrito is amazing. I mean, your neighbors will smell it. So once again, if you don't know how to make it, look under and check my recipe out. So now I'm going to mix everything up. Remember, the bone is still in there. The bone gives it a flavor as well. So I'm just going to mix up everything here. You see, it's nice and juicy. I didn't add any more salt because I added about 2 tablespoons of salt in the beginning. So because it has the salted pork, I'm pretty sure that's going to be enough with the salt. And now we are going to cover this bad boy up. Let it cook for, I would say, another 20 minutes. A total about 45 minutes, like I said. And so let's let this cook and we'll be right back. All right, thanks. Okay, now that we seasoned the meat, it is time to grate the yuca, the cassava. But first I'm going to put actually the stove on medium, because we only have about maybe 15 minutes left for it to cook, so we want it to cook in about 15 minutes, so pick up the heat. Now we are going to use this machine. This machine is used to actually grate potatoes. I know a lot of Puerto Ricans out there have another machine, but at the time that I was looking to purchase, this is the only one I found, and I like it. It looks fancy. So we're going to use this. We're going to turn this on, and what we're going to do is start to put the pieces in. So we're going to put the pieces in there. So you just fill up the machine and you start to grate the yuca. It's pretty fast, and so I'm gonna keep on grating the yuca, and you guys will come right back to me, right? Okay. Okay, so now it is time to check the meat. It's been about 45 minutes. So we're gonna check the meat. It seems to be cooking really nicely. It looks and it smells amazing. I just want to take a quick taste. Wow, delicious. Oh my God, it's so good. And now I just want to check the meat. The meat seems to be a little, yeah, it's not soft enough. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave it on for another 15 minutes. So it'll be a total of an hour. All right, so let's just cover this up, and yeah, make sure it's on medium flame. 15 minutes more, and it should be done. All right, so a total of an hour for the meat. Now we're gonna move on to the yuca. So it's all grated already. And now what we're gonna do is the yuca, if you could look closely, is very wet. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a nice white new washcloth, because it's new and it's clean, and we're gonna take the yuca. We're gonna put it into the washcloth like this. So we're gonna take about, it's a regular size washcloth. You could use a bigger towel if you like. Unfortunately, this is the only size that I have at home right now. So I'm gonna put about 2 tablespoons of the yuca, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna close it like that, and close it again, and then I'm gonna take both ends like this, and what I'm gonna do here is squeeze it. So we want to just squeeze that and get all that milk out, or at least just squeeze it to the best of your ability. There you go, we got that squeezed, and there you go, release it into the bowl. Okay, and we're going to continue and do it again. Take 1 spoon and 2 spoons. So once again, we are going to squeeze it. See all that juice? It's so wet, so you gotta squeeze it out. There you go. Nice exercise. So keep on squeezing and come right back, alright? Okay, now we have grated all of the cassava, which is the yuca. It's about time to stir the meat. And the meat looks perfect. Perfect. So we're gonna turn off the meat. And that's how it looks. It's nice and juicy. And the meat is nice and tender. Very hot. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a couple spoons of this juice and put it into the grated cassava. So just do a couple spoons. It's 3, 4, and 5. That's about it. That's gonna give a really good flavor to the cassava. And now we're gonna take a mug full of milk. Believe it or not, in this mug is 2 cups of milk. So now we're gonna just rinse off this spoon. There we go. Now we're gonna add 2 more spoons of sofrito, because the sofrito is really what gives such amazing taste. I'm gonna do 2, not too big. 1 and 2. There we go. And we're gonna do actually 1 pack of sazon. And now I forgot to bring out my achote. Give me 1 second. So now I have my achote, and I'm gonna use a tablespoon. So it's a nice big tablespoon. Take 1 nice big tablespoon of achote. Actually, let's make it 1.5. There we go. So 1.5 tablespoons of achote. Got that covered. And now what we're gonna do is mix all of this together. So we're gonna mix and mix. I like to mix it up with the spoon first, and then I get down and dirty and use my hands. So there you go. Just gonna take off my ring, so I don't want all that achote getting in there. And now this is exactly what you're gonna do. You get a little dirty and mix everything together. And I promise you that these pasteles are gonna be the most delicious yuca pasteles you've ever had. It's a little time consuming, but let me tell you, it's so worth it. So I'm gonna keep on mixing this, and then we'll be ready to make the pasteles, okay? So check me back in about 2 minutes. Okay, so now I am pretty much done mixing, and it's not fragrant enough to me. I don't smell the sofrito enough, so I'm gonna add one more spoon of sofrito. So yeah, I'm gonna add a nice big spoon of sofrito. I'm just gonna give it a little taste. And we're gonna add some salt as well. So I'm gonna take kosher salt. You could use regular salt, and I'm gonna use, that's 1 tablespoon. So 2 tablespoons of salt, and I'm gonna continue mixing, and then we will be ready to make the pasteles. Okay. Okay, now I have set aside some of the prepared yuca, which is cassava, and the prepared pork. So now we are going to start creating the pastel. I have here banana leaves already cut, and we're going to put them through the flame just like my mama taught me. So you want to put it under the flame. There you go. Start smelling so good. Alright, so we're gonna do that. I'm just gonna make 3 as an example for you to do it the same way at home, okay? I'm just gonna do 3 for you. Just pass it right through the flame. Just be careful you don't burn yourself. This kills any germs or anything like that. So 1, and we got that. Turn that off, and now we also have parchment paper. So we're gonna take the banana leaf, we're gonna lay it on the parchment paper like this, and now we're gonna take some achote. I'm gonna take a little achote, put it right here in the middle, and spread the achote out, because what this is going to do, this is going to help the pastel not to get to stick onto the banana leaf, and it also gives it a nice rich color. So now that we have that done, we're going to take the yuca, and we're going to place the yuca right there. I think this is enough. And then you want to press on it and make sure there are no holes in between. I'm going to add some more. There you go. Keep on. Great. Want to push it a little to the side, because when you flip them, you don't want that to spread out so much. So now that we have that, now we're going to add the meat. So I like to put enough meat. I'm not cheap with the meat. If you ever go to one of our festivals and have one of our pasteles, you will see that they're stuffed with meat. So there you go. And now what we're going to do, we're going to add about 3 olives and roasted pepper. So roasted pepper, you want to slice them nice and thin like this. And I like to put about 2 or 3. I like a lot of everything. Okay, we got that there. And now it's time to fold the pastel. So what I do, I grab it and align it to the top, just like that. I go just like this, and then I flip it over, right, like that. Squeeze the ends in towards the middle. I mean, some people fold them differently, but this is the way I fold them. And now what we do is we take them and I fold it just like that. I'm gonna flatten them out, and it looks like that. Then what we do is take some string. You could find this in the supermarket. With the parchment paper, they sell the string. So now we're gonna take this and we're gonna double up the string. Go just like this under, and pass it through. You're gonna open this up just like this. Usually you want to center it just like that, and then flip it. And then I flip it again. And now we tie it just like that. Make a little tie. And that's one. That's one. I'm going to do two more for you so you got the hang of it, alright? Actually, this way. I'm going to add the achote. Spread out the achote once again. This is so the pastel doesn't stick. Got that. Add the yuca. A little more. There we go. Flatten that out. Want to come closer? There you go. Flatten it out just like that. And we're going to add the meat. So once you added the meat, we're going to go and add 3-4 olives. I put 4 on this one. Roasted pepper. And time to fold in half. Just like that. Flip it. And you can take it on the side like this. And there we go. And that's another pastel. And time for the string. I'm going to put the string right in the middle, just like that. So you want to center it right in the middle, right here. And then open up the string just like that. Perfect. Flip it. And now we're going to tie the knot. And there you go. Okay, so now what's left to do is boil them. Make sure when you boil them, you put them in a little salt water. And thanks so much. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe under. And hopefully we'll see you in one of our festivals, okay? Thanks.